Hello, this is Ep13, and welcome back to Ars Nouveau. Last episode, we got a lot done. Behind us here, you can see we have a whole new biome that we created. Basically, we just kind of converted it to an existing archwood, but whatever. We have a biome behind us that I would like to use for building an industrial district. So that's what we have behind us. What we have in front of us, however, is a problem. Between episodes, apparently this chunk decided it didn't like us, and it was going to just regenerate. So from bedrock to up above, we have a hole. That's a problem, but I'll be honest here, I kind of don't care. We can fix this. This is not a big problem to fix. I do have admin. I have file access to backups. We have backups. The problem is, I don't care. This is to replace this by replacing the individual chunk without, messing up other chunks around us here. Like all the work we did over there, all the work that Zachary has been doing. He's been doing some terraforming. I think we are in the same region file. To be able to just swap this back to a backup is going to be fairly painful. It's just a lot of tedious moving files around, figuring out exactly which little snippet I need. And I'll be honest, it didn't actually cause us any real trouble. You can see here, we still have our storage. It missed that by 1 block, so that's awesome. Yay. The only thing we lost was we had, a mycelial source link. I think we had a relay, a couple pedestals, a chest with 30,000 berries, which honestly isn't that much. And we lost, I think, our evocation and nature spells over here with iron spells. And then some building. And the building, honestly, is basically, it's just randomized tough and deep slate, and then the roof and a bit of the wall. These are all materials that I can get pretty easily. So, honestly, I'm just going to rebuild this manually instead of cheating anything in or trying to do a backup or anything. It's not a big deal. It'll take me a little bit to do it, and I'm actually not going to get it to this episode. Because what I would like to get done during this episode is over here. I wanted to build this area. It's been something I've been wanting to do. It's a nice little expansion thing, and we're just going to pretend that our base is not broken there in one chunk. It also missed the ritual up above there for blood magic, so really no big loss, to be honest. Over here, we're going to work today on create. It's been a while since I've actually gone deep into create. Usually I just steal Zachar's stuff and call it a day with that. But I think what I'm going to do is I want an elevator. Because if you look at this from the standpoint of someone who would live here and isn't, all-powerful wizard who can just fly around, this is really annoying. If you were a worker over here, say you had a sawmill, you're cutting wood and you need to get wood from here to the main storeroom warehouse area over there. You're gonna have to walk up this. This is this is a fun thing to walk up. No normal human's going to do that. So instead, I want to build ourselves a cargo elevator. And it's going to be real simple. Just some real basic create stuff here. But I have no create infrastructure. We're going to have to get that going from scratch. So let's take a look at what that's actually going to need. So having nothing for create except for, materials, we have basic raw materials for everything. This is just wood, andesite, that sort of stuff. We don't have any brass, so that would be something that we may need to do. But let's take a look at what is actually needed for this specific project. For that, we need ourselves, where are you? Somewhere up here. There is a pulley. And the pulley itself, I am drawing let's just do pulley. Let's spell it properly. Basic pulley here, rope pulley. This is just andesite casing, wool, and iron sheet. I don't think we'll need the elevator pulley. Yes, we are building an elevator, but I'm going to do this the kind of easier way. I don't need a full, everything structure right now. I'm literally just going to be going from the ground floor level, which is going to be about here, up to here. Well, here. And I'm hoping I can get away with doing this with a single skulk sensor. So the plan is you walk over here, and as you get to the top part, it detects you, pulls the elevator up, you walk onto it, it brings you back down, you walk away. That's it. From the bottom, it's already down at the bottom. You walk onto it. Walking onto it should trigger the sculk sensor, which will then bring you up to the top here. And then you walk out. That's it. No buttons, no anything. My plan is that I'm hoping I can get away with just one sculk sensor. Actually, probably a shrieker. It'll be waterlogged so you don't hear it. And that's it. Nothing else. Just going to pull you up. And then it'll drop back down. You walk over here. It'll pull up automatically when you get here. You write it down. You walk away. And even if it goes up a second time after you walk away, that's fine. I don't really care. I'm thinking that this should be fairly simple. The only thing we're going to need for the rope pulley is we need iron sheets. Iron sheets needs a press. So we're going to need, of course, power and a press and a pulley. And then we need to actually build our thing. So let's see if we have the materials for that. You know, I said I'm not going to fix this episode, and I'm not going to. But what I am going to do is I'm going to at least flatten it off and get rid of the trees because it's kind of difficult to actually get in here. So let's go ahead, break these down. Do I have a tree chopper? Chaining, AoE, break, yep. Break you, break you, break you. Cool, get the trees out of the way and just flatten the rest of this off. That'll at least allow us to be able to fly in without hitting a tree. Alright, well, I still have the walls to put in, but we've at least got our pathway here. That's the wrong block. Thank you. We have our pathway, and that's about it. I've just kind of flattened this all off and put some basic dirt down. It'll make it a little bit easier for placing down the tuff, because you need the deep slate, because this is directional, you need to have a block to place against. So that should make it a little bit easier to place. Let's go ahead, finish you, and then you. There. Perfect. Okay. Now that we have at least a walkway, let's go ahead and take a look at what we need for create. We're going to need a whole bunch of andesite alloys, which we've got actually quite a bit of. Yes, we only have 2, but we have lots of materials. I've got a ton of andesite, a ridiculous amount of iron. Let's go ahead and make 3 stacks. That should probably be enough. We're going to need some basic materials such as shafts here. Let's go ahead, throw those in. Shaft, regular click please. Probably gonna be enough for that. Let's get some cogwheels here. I said let's get some cogwheels. Cool. Don't know how many of these we're gonna need. Probably not that many. Large cogwheel, easy enough. And let's see, we need our press, which was, I should have actually marked all of these. That would have been smart. Here we go, mechanical press. We've got block of iron. What we don't have is andesite casing, which needs some wood. So let's do a search for log. I should have a fair number of birch here. Let's go ahead and do this the easy way, which is if we use effortless building, get ourselves 30, should be good. And now we could, of course, use our iron axe, but as mentioned, we are a wizard. So we're going to go ahead and clear out this. Let's go with chaining. It's alphabetical order. Chaining, thank you. We'll do a couple AoE there so we can do all 32. And next up, what we need is cut, amplify. Cut, amplify. If we look at this and hold shift, for simulating breaking with shears, amplify will simulate using an axe instead of shears. So amplify, cool. There we go. And it is all nicely ready. We can go ahead and replace all of these. There's probably a way we could have done this with magic to just do them all at once, but whatever, this still works. Cool. Next up, we can go ahead and break that. Awesome. Now we have 30 andesite casing. Easy way here. And let's get our press. Cool. Mechanical press. Thank you. Now we're going to need some very basic power here. We have a few options. The regular create way would be probably to do like a water wheel. That's definitely something we can do, but we've got magic. So let's go to at Creo instead, and we have here a Starbuncle wheel. These are pretty simple. A Starbuncle charm plus a water wheel, so we'll need that anyway, I guess. Thanks. Put you right there. And I should have an extra Starbuncle charm. Perfect. Starbuncle wheel. This guy here is exactly what it says. You've got a little hamster inside a wheel. And he works. That's all he does. Pretty simple. Alrighty, next up in our quest to speedrun create here, let's go ahead, place our starbuncle wheel right there. Nice. And place you like that. Don't know why we made the shafts and gears. Anyway, let's go ahead and throw some iron underneath here. I said throw some underneath. Yay! We have one. So this will take quite a while. It's very slow like that. We could speed this up a little bit. So while that is running, let's go and build something a little bit faster. We're gonna need some large cogwheels and small ones. So if we pretend we're gonna have a starbuncle wheel right there, let's put one of these on it. If we go at the angle there, that will then bump that, basically doubles the speed there because we've got a big thing. For every rotation of this, you get 2 rotations of the smaller. So that alone would double our speed. Let's go ahead, put a casing there. Yeah, we're gonna do this again. So from here, something we can actually do, this will try to connect. Now that we have a press load, what we can do is grab ourselves some gold. Let's pick up our iron, thank you. Let's do a couple pieces of gold. Don't know why I grabbed a full stack. Just need one, thank you. Let's go ahead and make a wrench. This guy right here. Oh, that needs 3 sheets apparently. Very slow. Still slow. Cool, pick those up. Let's go ahead and make our wrench. Easy enough, we've got the materials. With this, I believe there's a way we can now disconnect these. I remember reading that there's a way you can make it so that these don't connect. Because normally they'll connect like this, and obviously this is going to not actually rotate. What we can do is just ignore that anyway. Put a shaft on here instead, just to bump it out by 1. There's probably a way to get that to work, but I'm not going to figure that out right now. Break you, don't need that. Now what we can do is we can go ahead, take these guys, and go ahead and swap it over here. You go right there. That's not the right direction. Right there. Cool. Spins very fast now. This might spin too fast, but we'll find out. Overstressed, yep. Okay, well, we can at least go at this speed. I was hoping we could do that double fast, but whatever. We'll just do it once. That's fine. I won't complain. And we have here a nice little pressing setup that should be a little bit faster. Let's throw some more of our iron in here. Cool, twice as fast. All right, now that we have the single sheet that we actually needed, let's go ahead and make our pulley. And I'm gonna make, I think, 2 of these. I don't actually need 2 of them, but I wanna see if I can actually get these to be synchronized and have it power 1 elevator. We'll pick those up, cool. Are you gonna stop or are you gonna keep hitting? Okay, good. All right, so let's go ahead and grab our power source. Thank you, power source. And let's figure out where we want this to be set up. I'm thinking right here. Okay, we are started on the actual elevator here. So what we're gonna do is I want a little bit of kind of a like landing area up here because of the base of the structure here, how it kind of goes out a little bit, I need to have a little bit of space. So I think if I do something kind of like this, that is gonna be on there. I want it 1 more. So let's go ahead and place these right along here. All right, looks good. And I think what we'll do is just have it be, the elevator will be probably these 5 blocks wide. And we'll do that just down here out of probably, I guess, logs on the edges and then slabs in the middle is probably gonna be good. So if we do something like that, 1, 2, 3, let's just see if this is gonna be enough space. If we do something like that with some slabs in between here, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever. Cool. that is our current elevator platform. Let's go ahead and make it look a little bit fancier, maybe with something like this. Go up and a little like bracket maybe. Up here. Gonna need more of those. Let's go over a little bit so I can actually reach my storage here. Okay. Let's use you, and I need some sticks. Cool. 3 is probably enough. Okay. I think we have ourselves a little bit of a cargo elevator. Nothing too fancy, just that. That's about it. Maybe we'll do one more. R, thank you. Spruce fence, and where did you go? Okay. I think we'll have this connect up at the top. Now we've got 2 ways of doing this. I would like, and I want to see if this will let me do it, if I have the connections be there and have kind of 2 arms going over, but what I might end up having to do is kind of connect it and have it pull it in the middle there. Either way, we'll have a big kind of crane arm going up, reaching to it. I think that'll look good. I find myself pondering what to do here, and as it turns out, I can actually do exactly what I wanted. If I replay this ponder view thing, if you have multiple pulleys that are all kind of lined up in the same level with a moving contraption underneath it, it'll just work. I don't even need to power it. I don't need to do anything special to link it. It literally just says, hey, there's something below me. I can move. Don't even need to pay you power, it says. So that is awesome. That means what I think I'm going to do is I'll have a bar across there anyway, just to visually connect it, because I think it'll look weird if it's not. And that will allow us to have our power be just on one side here, maybe go up with a belt to the top of that, and then just connect, and it should just work. That being said, I think what I'll do is break these then. Although it might make sense to have those be connected. We'll connect it anyway. If I can click properly. Okay, so let's put you right here, you right there, and next up, I grabbed some glue. Real simple recipe, just needed the iron plates. And with that, I should just be able to make this work. Really? I need a block there? From you to you. Cool. And then we should be able to break this block. Cool. Now, let's go ahead and move that down, I guess. Let's get a shaft across the top here. And one on this side as well. And for right now, let's just see if this works exactly as I want. And I think it will. Cool. Okay. I would like you to be reversed, actually. So I can do that by setting up a real simple thing with a couple logs. So I have blocks to place it on. Let's go ahead and instead of a shaft here, we'll break you, replace you with a cogwheel, and a cogwheel next to it. Break you, and put you on this one. It does work. It's a little buggy on a server here, but that is exactly what I want to do, except for the speed, of course. So we can work on that easily enough. Is that going to turn into a block? I want it to turn into a block. Cool. Let's replace this again so it'll actually kind of switch back. Go all the way down. Perfect. All right, we have ourselves a nice little area here. Elevator itself works. Next up, we need to set up the actual kind of circuitry for when it needs to start rotating, when to stop, and all that fun stuff. And in the meantime, we have at least our working elevator. Now, one thing that is pretty important here, hello wave time, is we are going to need a way to actually switch this around. Let me open up storage here. We need ourselves a gear shift. So gear shift is basically a redstone powered reverser, technical terms here. So we'll head over here and let's take a look at what we need. If I go ahead and break all of these, so I do want gear shift, or I want the gear there, and I want cogwheel here, but in between here I would like to have a gear shift. So we'll place that, place our squirrel against it, and right now it just works. If I go ahead and grab a lever, which of course I don't have access to my storage from this far, let's move over here. I would like lever, just for kind of a quick example of how this will work. If we plop that on here, reverse it, it now comes back up. The rendering of our second is not quite rendering properly, but it works. So all we would need to do then is basically when you get close, it'll pull up, and as you get further away, we have it then drop back down. So the default position is going to be at the bottom there, and just as you walk up, it'll automatically basically just flip this back and forth long enough for it to go all the way up, pause for a moment, and then go all the way back down. We are starting to get a little bit of a structure here. I decided that there's kind of two ways I can go about this. One is fully integrating with the existing kind of base infrastructure, where it's using like the blood brick there, or the nether brick, red nether bricks, that's what it is. I could do that, or I think what I'm going to go with instead is a different architecture style. So the story is going to kind of be that the base itself, the main structure here, once it's repaired, is ancient. It's been here for generations and generations. It's been here for a very long time, and since it has been found, there's been people who've moved in and they've started kind of industrializing. So we've got some of the newer structure here is just wood bits that are basically just kind of tacked on the side. We'll just pretend that this is solid. Anyway, we might switch that back to the blood bricks. I don't know. But we've got this elevator shaft here. It was added on after the fact, after the people here found the area. The ancients would have just used the stairs themselves and used this as like a watchtower or something. I don't know. But the basic idea is we're going to have little shops and such over here, workshops that will be producing things like wood, such as all the spruce that I'm using. Then when you have the materials, you just walk over here, step in, and I don't have any, nothing set up yet. Now, the reason for nothing being set up is I need to figure out how I actually want to have this linked. My plan is I think I'll have the gears and such not moving, basically just sitting here idle, or not even idle, because idle would be spinning but not doing something. I'll have a clutch that basically turns off everything. So you've got your little squirrel or whatever we're going to use for power. It's always turning down there at the bottom, or maybe on the side, haven't decided. And then it kicks on once you actually get close enough. They'll just save a little bit of frame rate issues here, because if it's just constantly spinning all the time, that might be not great. But we'll see. One thing I do want to do is I think I'll put some sort of contraption on the side here. I want a big gear, I think. Like maybe a 5x5 size gear here all the way around. Something big and visual. And basically it's going to be useless. It's just going to sit there and spin whenever we actually start using the elevator. But I think I like the idea of having just an obnoxiously large gear here, because let's be honest, the large cogwheel, if I were to put that right here, it's kind of tiny. It's a big industrial building. It's, giant logs are holding this whole thing up. It has a cargo lift, so it does need to be, somewhat sturdy. But, we've got the large gear, not large enough. I want to build a bigger one. So we'll probably build one out of stairs or something and have that be along the side. I might have to see what a large water wheel looks like. In fact, I think I've got the materials to be able to make one of those. Let's hop over here close enough. Water wheel. Large water wheel needs a small water wheel. Easy enough. More wood. Cool. And I'm going to grab some archwood. I want to see if I can actually make that work. So let's see how big this is. If I remove you and place a large water wheel on instead. See, that's the size of wheel that I want here. And I might go with the water wheel. Actually, I probably will. They'll be easy to set up. I do want to check one thing if I can right-click this. You can right-click this. Interesting. How do I change the log there? Do that. No? Okay. It's if I right-click you with a spruce log, does that replace everything? It does, including spruce in the middle there. Okay. So default is spruce, it looks like. It has the spruce log texture inside there, but you are able to use archwood, which is pretty cool. Because then we can use archwood. It does not use the log texture though, which is probably fine because we have to figure out which, it would have to decide which version inside there, since one log can be any of them, so I guess it just defaults to oak. That's pretty cool. I think I will have a giant water wheel here, if it'll let me at least. So we'll hook up the actual, probably a belt on the side here, down to main power generation down below there. I think that will work well. And we'll get a big wheel on this side as well. Or we could go for asymmetry and have just the one. I don't know, but I think that is the size of wheel that I want, and I think I will just use the water wheel. I want a giant cog on the side of this. Okay, we have ourselves a nice little elevator shaft. I think it's built up how I want. I've got a bunch of these little spruce support brackets, which are kind of cool blocks. Down here, we are ready to start work on actually, building everything. So it's gonna be a bit more technical at this point, and I'm just gonna kind of make it up as we go. So we would like this to go fast. So let's stick a cogwheel here, and let's go ahead and do a large one. There works. Cool. From there, we're gonna go ahead and do another one of these, and we'll go like that. So that should be 2 of those going together. And let's see if this even works. Let's start with a gear shift in here. Actually, yeah, we'll do a gear shift and a clutch, why not? And then our starbuncle in a wheel. Cool, it's happy. And by happy, I mean it's overstressed. Interesting, so they actually did add stress to elevators, so that's good. Means that we can't do 2 of these unless this is connected weird. No, should be fine, okay. Let's try this connected like this. It should be still working, hopefully. Okay, cool. Sounds good. That goes real fast. Makes sense. Let's go ahead, break that. And actually, that might be what's causing... the overstress, actually, now that I think about it. That might be a problem. Let's go ahead and try that, just in case that is the issue. Cogwheel, and a large one as well, right there. Let's see, you work. Okay, that is overstressed even without the wheel. Good to know. Let's put you back. Put the clutch and the gear shift. Starbuncle. Cool. All right, lever, if I stick you on the gear shift, that should start going up. I would like that to go faster. And I think in order for that to go faster, I'm going to just need more power. So, Mr. Starbuncle, you're not cutting it. We're going to have to do something to get you to go a little bit faster. Now, of course, we can try to make this go faster by just, adding more of them, changing this out for a big water wheel, which we may end up having to do. We've got a little area here we could do that with. Instead, we're going to just make it shinier. If we place you down, that adds a bit more power. So let's see if that works now. Break all of this and put these gears back in place once again. You are not placed correctly. You there. Gear goes there. And let's see, gear shift. Add you. Clutch. And starbuncle wheel. Too many random blocks in my inventory. Overstressed, yes, but if we put the gold block in front, do you have enough power? No, still overstressed. Really? Add sources or slow down the components with the high stress impact. Okay. Well, I was hoping to be able to make this go faster. And it's not those in between there, right? Because those shouldn't add any stress capacity. Yeah, no. Okay, cool. You're not fast enough. You know what? Let's make another. Go over here. We would like a starby wheel. Needs a water wheel again, which is just planks, which we have. And starbuncle wheel. I don't know if 2 of these is going to be enough. If I have to just like keep stacking these, I would rather not do that. So for now, let's just see if this works at all. Yes, that does work. Okay. Good to know. But that needs to have a clutch or a gear shift. So gear shift can go right there. Wheel can go like that. And a lever. Let's see how fast the elevator actually moves if I do this. That is a bit better. So that is about the speed that I would like. Can we ride it? Perfect. Except for not lining up at the top here. But I think that's just a visual glitch. So I like how this is working. Wow, that is fast. You might need to move. Alright, so I'm playing around with basically just aesthetics here. It's kind of an illusion, almost looks like the belt here is what's driving the wheel at the top there. It almost lines up to speed. It's not quite when you see it up at the top there, but it kind of works. I do wish I could hide the backside of the belt here though, because that kind of ruins the illusion. This side though, looks like it's coming down, which I think is pretty cool. As I'm looking at this, I think what I might need to do, so basically I slowed this down with just some more gears up at the top here, just downgrading it twice. What I might do, what might make sense, is to have the belt itself go slow, basically just straight off of the starbuncles there. So have it come up, and then basically use this gear shifting here up at the top only to bring it up to high speed. I think that might be the best solution, and that would be pretty simple. I want it to go fast, which is basically just off of this one right here. So if I just connect this directly down there, which should line up actually. Yeah, perfectly. If I do that and get rid of this gear, yep, get rid of you, and swap down here to a belt. Then instead of shifting at the top and the bottom, it gets me that. And I think that works. And it looks like you have kind of the big gear up at the top here that's able to kind of change the speed. It looks like this is what's doing the work, even though it's obviously not. I like that. Let's go ahead and break the extra stuff here. Don't need you. I aimed over here. Thank you. Break the extra belts, all that fun stuff. I don't need any of these anymore. Don't need you either. Okay, so that makes it real simple at the bottom here. I just have the clutch and the gear shift. Currently I'm not really using those, but I think this works. So this is kind of the default state, which I'll also have this guy on. Let's grab a lever just for testing here. Eventually this will all be wired up to actual redstone, but for the moment it's not. So basically you walk up, it's doing nothing, it's not even spinning, it's just there. There's a log in the way there. Oh no, that's just, okay, yeah. Anyway, so next up it would turn this on, rotate it around, elevator goes up, ignore the rendering, goes to the top there, pauses for a little bit, flips it around, lowers back down, and once it gets here, turns off. That is kind of how I want everything to work. We have a couple levers doing that manually and 2 starbuncles. Next up, I think we need to basically hide all of this. I think what we'll do is maybe if I go break through here, then what I can do is I can have a belt line right there. And inside here, for now we'll just do a belt right there. And that goes from you to you. Cool. And can I do this with a casing? It's probably not going to do what I want. You know what? That does exactly what I want. That's fine. Just goes into the wall. Perfect. Does that make sense if it's underneath the support beam? Probably not. Tell you what, we'll move it over one. Break you. Put you there. And run it along this one instead. Okay. Cool. That works. Break you. Don't need it. This, I think we'll put casings along so it looks like it has a little bit more structure. And then the rest of you can be moved inside and hook up some redstone. So let's do some redstone. This being redstone, there are a million ways we can set this up. So let's take a look at a few of the ways we can do. If I place you down, here's a shrieker. Let's add some redstone next to it. If we walk around, I thought you would have done something. Apparently I need a sensor along with that. So let's see. If we look in here, I don't have a sensor. I thought I did. Okay, I have a couple in here. That works. Cool. Sensor goes right there. If I walk, shrieker goes off, does not send a signal. For some reason, I thought you would do a signal. So let's do an observer, because I believe the observer can watch it. It's worth noting, of course, as you can see here, the shrieker on its own does not summon a warden. You need to actually have a naturally generated shrieker to do that in an actual deep dark. So we don't need to worry about accidentally summoning a warden here. We've got plenty of those next door. If I move, so that did blink there at the beginning. I believe it'll blink again at the end though. Yes, it does. Okay, so we need this to only blink once. There's a few ways we can do that. I guess if I did it with from create here, we should have, I don't remember if Zachris gave me any. It looks like no. Let's take a look here at create. There is a redstone block here that is very useful. It is a powered latch, powered toggle latch actually. Grab you. This block, if we put it down, face the wrong direction. There we go. If I stick redstone out. Okay, so at this point it's on. When I move, it'll turn off. And it'll basically just stay off until the end of it, in which it turns back on. That might be what we need. We might need it flipped around the other direction. We can always change it like that. So if we have it backwards, it can be whatever we need. We can just flip it with the quick right click, no big deal. So that is the basic idea. Now, this thing here is obviously really annoying. So let's go ahead, we'll put you back. Put those down, and what we can do is we can waterlog this. No longer makes the annoying shriek. Similarly, we can do the same with that. Why did I think there was water there? Water, nowhere. Let's go ahead and make some with magic. Infinite water source. Let's see, let's grab this one. Let's do touch, create water. Water there, water there. Now we have infinite. Cool, thanks. Put that there, and we'll grab some dirt to go around you as well. Thank you. Okay, now that all works. So, go ahead, swap this, put you in, and we're good. So they'll just flip back and forth. All right, now we have the basic idea of how it's going to work. I'm wondering, actually, we may luck out where it just shrieks for long enough for it to go up, pause, and then go down. Probably not, though. I'll figure it out. So we've got, let's put our things back in place here. These are all outside still, aren't they? Yep. That is not a break spell. Break all these. Inventory's full as always. Don't need you. Don't need you. Don't need you. Do need both of those. All right. In here, let's go ahead and plop down our clutch. I guess it doesn't really matter which order we have these in. I am going to put a block in between just to have a bit more room for the redstone because I want these on separate signals. And then the gear shift there. So with that, if we add our Starbuncle wheels here and here, it's happily able to move things around. Default, you can see with it running is fine. It's just sitting here at the bottom. Good. If I add my lever to the gear shift, flip you around, it goes up. Let's put it back down because I don't need it to. And I think what I might do, I could hook up just a very simple contact repeater here, or contact, what is it called? Redstone contact, easy enough. There's elevator contact as well that can be used for some more complicated designs. We have multiple floors. You can build those with regular redstone contacts as well. Luckily, this, however, does not need any brass. I only need, I think, 2 of these at the moment. What we can do is when it's down here, we can actually have it just work directly off of this, actually. Because my main thing is when it's down here, I don't want it to run. So if we place a redstone contact here, I don't know if this will stay glued. Yes, it did. Awesome. And we put our other redstone contact there. This on its own should work to power this so that when it's all the way down, flips this on and turns off everything. I think, honestly, I think that's going to be the easiest thing to do here. We could be fancier with our redstone, or we can be lazy. I think I'm going to be lazy right now. So that works. When it's down here, it doesn't move. You know what? That's not going to work. It's not going to work because it stays still. It's not doing anything. Okay, I've got a circuit. It kind of almost works how I want. So if we hop on, and I'm crouching right now, but shouldn't need to. Basically, the sensor range is unfortunately 1 block too far. So we'll step up here and then step back. It brings us up. But the problem is it does not wait at the top. In fact, it didn't even all the way make it up there, but it did do what I want, where when it gets back down here, you'll notice that the clutch kicked on. So if we watch that from inside, where we can actually see the circuit, if I break this, yeah. Okay, so that goes up. It lasts for a little while, then when the shrieker turns off, it goes back down. When it gets all the way back down to the bottom, the redstone contact ends up meeting over here. So here's our circuit. Basically, we've got contact, sends a signal when it's all the way down. So once it gets back down, we'll see that. That then goes over here, which powers the clutch. Clutch turns off everything. I do notice it kind of bounces around a little bit. I'd like it to stay all the way at the bottom as actual blocks. That's currently as an entity, so it's halfway between, which is not what I want. Then over here, I've got the same circuit we had before, shrieker being observed to a powered toggle latch. That goes up and over the gear shift. So when it's active, then the gears are going backwards. Basically then that goes into a powered latch. Signal from this is basically turning it on always until it gets a signal from the side. So basically the side signal overrides it and turns it back off. So this turns on, which flips this to be on, so it's on right now. When the observer triggers, it will then flip it around basically. So if I hop down, walk around, we see it turns that, which turns that off, and it kind of works and then immediately flips around. So option A is we work with this system, maybe do like a pulse extender or something on here so it lasts a little bit longer. That'll make it go all the way up to the top. Because the top is all the way to the top, it can stay up there for a while with this just on. So that's one option, and that would be a pulse repeater could fit right here. In fact, I believe we have a pulse extender is what I need. That will need brass, so I'll have to do that. But that will do what I want, where it'll just hold it for a little bit longer. That might be what I do. That's option 1, which is based off of this observer watching the shrieker, which is the skulk sensor is powering. That's option 1. Option 2 is we design this to be a little bit more straightforward. Right now, I didn't move this. I just left it where it was, so the signal wraps around weird. It's not really intuitive. It's also not where I want it to be. I'd like the sensor to be this way a little bit further because I want it to trigger when you walk on this, not when you walk on the edge block there. So a couple different ways we can do this. I'm going to play around a little bit more off camera with the circuitry. And again, I want this to go all the way down before it stops. I'm not sure why it does that. All right, well, this is a pretty simple change. I'm going to adjust this just a little bit. We have a pulse extender here, and I'm going to drop it to, I think, 6 seconds. And I have a redstone repeater over here with a 2-tick delay on it. Basically, that means that it'll take a little bit longer for it to recognize that it reached the bottom. Because what was happening was the second it hit there, it would turn on and kill it, which would then stop it a block above. So now it's all the way down here. These are actual blocks now. If we walk over here, is this close enough? It's still not close enough, so I'll have to move that still. Let's hop up there to trigger it. Excuse me. Okay, we will fix that. If I break these blocks for now for testing, that'll at least show me. Right, it's going to take a bit for that to come down now. Let's hold shift and wait, because basically it's going to keep holding this for as long as I got the signal. That's still waiting. Okay, now it's reversing, coming back down. Okay, if we hop on, now if we step off, step back on. Why is that not working? Okay, well, we can at least watch how it works. Comes up here, sits and waits for a few seconds, and then goes back down. So that's exactly what I want to do, except for the whole phasing through it thing. But other than that, it works. What I think we can do is the sensor is what's actually detecting us. Then the sensor is relaying the signal to the shrieker. So what we can do is if we get a couple sensors, and I should have a few in here. I still don't have a few in here. Open you, sensor. Let's grab 2 of these, and we'll grab a couple buckets of water while we're at it. Bucket. New bucket, please. And fill you up. Okay, so that's going to trigger it. It's going to stay up there for as long as it's being triggered. If I walk up here and stick, let's get some building blocks. Any blocks. Dirt works. So let's go ahead, and the center of our thing is about here. That is a wall, so I don't really want it on that. Block there. Block there, block there, there. Okay, so that gives us a little place here for our sensor to sit. Sensor, are you able to relay information? If I walk here? Yes, so that did that send a signal? No, it didn't. Okay, that's out of range. Let's drop it down a few blocks then. If I put you here, that triggered the shrieker. Okay, so let's work with that. We'll put dirt all around it so that we can put water on it. Okay, break that. This is a silk touch, so that works. We'll grab all those and waterlog it. Okay, that should trigger when we are above. And then down here, if we put a sensor, let's see, right here should work. Let's put those blocks around it as well. Waterlog it. There we go. And now we just wait for it to come back down, which will take a few seconds. I might need to change the length of time. That's part of what I want to see, is how much time we actually have here. So all the way down, turns on, locks that. We walk up, triggers that. Bring this all the way up here. We can step off, which admittedly is probably going to freeze it for a little bit longer. So I guess it'll be 6 seconds if you're moving around up here. Okay, and goes back down. Once it gets down there, I want to watch it actually stop here. Okay, that stopped. So if I walk up, it'll come up to me. Hello there. Step on, which probably triggered the shrieker again. I may want to move the sensor further back so that it detects it as you're walking up instead of as you're stepping onto the elevator. But we will see. Because I think as long as we're moving there, it'll just hold the elevator effectively indefinitely, which actually means if we I need this to be, let's set it to 4 seconds. So I'll come back down. Let's run over here, hop on, missed it. Does that reach all the way to the top? It does. Goes back down. Okay, I think 4 seconds might be our magic number here. Walk on. I wonder if this needs to be solid block so I don't fill through it. Let's step back here so we don't trigger our sensor again. Okay, one more try. Walk on. Ah, stop falling through. Forge, TPS. Tick time is fine, so it's not that it's phasing through because of that. It's just being difficult. I mean, basically, it's what I want, except for the whole, like, yeah, I'm going to jump there to stay on. It's basically exactly what I want. We walk on, we can walk out, we're all good. Yay, we were able to walk through. If we turn around here, once the game keeps up, elevator's still up because it was waiting for us as we were walking along there. It'll go back down. I think that's fine if it's sitting up here for a little bit longer. Really, it's just me walking around. And even then, I'm not too concerned about it. If we walk over here, they'll trip the sensor. Rises up to us. Cool. We hop on. 1, 2, 3. Okay, cool. Not too bad, actually. And then goes back down. Now, I'm pretty sure as we walk off the platform, it's going to trigger again. But I don't really care. I think that's working. All right, one last thing just to make our lives a little bit easier. If we go ahead and plop a seat on here, the seat will make sure that we don't actually phase through because we are connected to the seat. We are riding it. And then up top here, we can just walk off. I think that works. We might put more seats there. We might put the seat directly in the center. Although, well, it's a slab, it's not really a slab. So I can't put it on the top half. Either way, that works. I'm happy with this. I think it works. If I'm standing here, it won't censor anything. Walk forward, turns on, elevator kicks into action. I like that the gear is moving. It gives nice visual look here. We can sit in our seat. We don't appear in our seat, that's fine. Or I'm very tiny. Weird rendering. Yeah, I'm just really tiny. Oh, there we go. Either way, it works. It's a little finicky, but I think just the Create elevators in general are going to be like that. I'm really happy with this, though. It's a nice little elevator. It is purely aesthetic, because obviously it's so slow that we wouldn't actually use this for anything really useful. But it at least kind of adds to, like, the overall design of this area is you wouldn't walk cargo up, you know, the steep ramp there. You'd build a lift for it. So I'm happy with this. We might put like some something that looks like more cargo stuff, like a chest or something. But basically we can walk up, we can sit in our seat, it triggers a sensor, we ride up. It meets nicely up all the way to the top here. We can just walk off, and after a few seconds, it'll happily go back down where it goes. Go. Go. Yes. Awesome. So that works. I'm actually surprised it didn't flip around there once I jumped up to fly. I'm really happy with this. It's a cool little elevator design. It's cute. I like it. Do I have any more of those? No. So I'm going to maybe do a little bit more decoration, some detail work on here, make it look a little more run down. I'm not entirely sure if I want this to be the log here or if I want it to be a different block. I kind of like the the strength, I guess, of it being a big solid log for that instead of being like casing or something. I'm not entirely sure how I want it to look yet. I might put some casings up along this as well. Do I have casing on me? Yeah. Let's see if I fill this all in. Do I like that? I guess it makes it look a little bit more solid. Maybe we'll do some like bracing or something up here. We don't need this block anymore or that one. Okay. I like it. I like how this has turned out. We've got a nice little elevator and it's somewhat functional. I mean, it's functional. It works. It's an elevator. It's just obviously not as fast as flying. But I like how it looks. It's a cool little elevator, a cool design, and I think is really going to kind of bring out what I want to build in this area. I want a lot of movement things. I want a lot of industrial stuff. With a slightly different build aesthetic than the rest of the base. The rest of the base is all this red, which is very solid and stone looking. I want to have a bit more kind of medieval, finicky. We threw it together with whatever logs we had available. I like how this looks. It's a fun little build, and I am happy with what we've gotten done today. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and thank you for watching. Bye-bye.